Greetings to our psychology teacher, Miss Dila. Today I will be explaining what is self-regulated learning or SRL and what is motivation in learning. Firstly, what is SRL? SRL or self-regulated learning is basically when students take control of their own learning. According to Zimmerman, SRL includes setting goals, choosing the right strategies, checking our progress, and reflecting on what we've learned. So in a simple word, SRLs mean managing our own learning, not just depending on teachers. Secondly, what is motivation? Motivation is the drive that makes us want to start and keep learning. It can come from inside, like wanting to improve, or from outside, like grades and reward. Motivations affect how much.
Motivation is the foundation of self-regulated learning. When students are motivated, they are more willing to take control of their own learning process. This including setting clear goals, planning their study strategies, staying focused, and continuing even when forcing strategy. Motivated students also monitor their progress and reflect on what works or doesn't work. So, motivation directly influence how active, responsible, and effective students are in managing their learning. Motivation is also important because it improves student academic performance, motivates students work harder, try more strategies, and learn more effectively. It also increases engagements. Students pay more attention and participate actively with strong motivations. Students become more independent because they don't wait for teacher to push them. They take charge of their own learning. Motivation reduces procrastinations and helps students stay consistent. Overall, it builds a good and long-term learning habits that benefit students throughout school and life.
On this slide, I will explain the psychological analysis of self-determination theory or SDT. SDT focuses on how the quality of student motivation is shaped by three basic psychological needs. The first need is autonomy. This refers to students feeling that they have control over their own learning decision. When students are allowed to make choices, they become more responsible and more interested in learning. The second need is competence. This is when students feel capable and confident in their abilities. When they believe they can succeed, they put in more effort and show greater persistence. The third need is relentlessness. This is the feeling of being supported by teachers and peers. When students feel connected, their emotional well-being improves and this increases their motivations. So overall, SDT explained that when autonomy, competence, and relentlessness are fulfilled, students develop stronger and higher quality motivation. Next, the slide explains expectancy value theory or EVT. EVT focuses on why students choose to engage in a learning task. The first component is expectancy, which refers to the student belief that they can succeed. If they believe they can do well, they will put in more effort and maintain strong focus. The second component is value, which is the importance of usefulness of the task. Value has three types. First, intrinsic value, which means the student has interest in the task. Second, utility value, which means the task is useful for their future goal. And the last one is attainment value, which means the task is important for their identity or sense of achievement. So, EVT tells us that students are motivated when they believe they can succeed and when they see the task as valuable. Finally, this slide explains how both SDT and EVT connect motivation to self-regulated learning or SRL. From the perspective of SDT, when students have autonomy, they are more likely to plan and control their own learning. When they feel competent, they are confident to try different strategies and track their progress. When they experience relentlessness, they are emotionally stable and more consistent in their learning. All of this help strengthen SRL, especially in planning, self-monitoring, using learning strategies, and regulating emotions. Perspective of EVT, when students have high expectancy, they believe they can succeed. So they set goals, monitor their progress, and stay focused. When students value the task, they put in more consistent effort, manage their time better, and stay motivated. So in summary, both SDT and EVT show that motivation plays a key role in developing strong self-regulated learning skills. To conclude, both self-determination theory and expectancy value theory show that motivation is not just about having the desire to learn, but about understanding why students choose to learn and how their psychological needs influence their behavior. SDT highlight the importance of autonomy, competence, and relentlessness in building high-quality motivation, while EVT explain how students believe about success and the value they attach to a task shape their effort and engagement. When these motivational factors are supported, students become more proactive, more strategic, and more responsible for their own learning. This is what strengthens self-regulated learning. Overall, motivation acts as the foundation that empowers students to plan, monitor, and reflect effectively, leading to better academic performance and lifelong learning skills.
Goal orientation theories. Goal orientation theories explain why students learn and what drives their behaviors. There's two main types of goals. First of all, mastery goals, where students want to understand the lesson, improve their skills, and learn for personal growth. These students are more present and use deeper learning strategies. And the second one is performance goals, where the students want to show they are smart and avoiding looking weak. Perform approach, students want to be the best, while performing, students try to avoid failures and embarrassment. The type of goals students have influence how they behave, how they handle things, how they handle challenges, and how well they regulate their learning skills. And the second one is how motivating affect SRL's components. Motivations play an important role in every part of self-regulation's learnings. For goal settings, motivation students set clearly meaningful goals. Learning unmotivated students set vague goals. For planning, highly motivated students recognize their study signs and choose good strategies, while low motivations leans to weak or no planning. In moderating, students check their understands and adjust their strategies. Low motivating the students to ignore mistakes and avoid feedback. Finally, in reflections, motivations, students evaluate their work honestly and learn from mistakes, while low motivated students avoid reflections and often repeat the same errors. Overall, motivation strongly shapes how students manage their learning process. Thank you.
Alright, I will continue with my part now. My topic is about motivation strategies and self-regulated learning. First, teachers can give a positive feedback to their students, such as telling the students what already they did well and give some gentle advice to the students on how they can improve their learning. When the students hear the positive words from the teachers, the students will more comfortable and keep trying for what they need to improve more about their topic or the task that teachers give for them. Second, teachers should set a realistic goals to their students. These small and clear goals that students can reach step by step. When students achieve their small goals, they feel success, and when they feel success, they will feel more motivated to keep their learning on track. Third, teachers can use positive learning activities such as discussion, games, or real-time examples. So, from these activities that teachers do for their students feel more focused and the lessons feel more fun because the students is involved, not just listening. Fourth, teachers can offer choices for their students. The teachers will let the students choose their topic that they like or the type of task they want to do. When students have their choices, they feel more in control and make them more engaged. Lastly, teachers need to create a supportive classroom. This means being approachable, showing care, and help the students who are face challenges in their life. A safe and friendly environment make the students feel comfortable to ask the question directly to their teachers and keep learning. Next, I will explain about how teachers can support self-regulated learning or SRL. Second, teachers can guide their students to plan steps. This helps the students to break a big task into a smaller task, so the work is more easier and more organized. Third, students can do self-check. They monitor their progress and ask the question about themselves, their progress on what they have to do for their task, such as they ask the question, am I doing it correctly or do I need to fix something? Fourth, students should reflect on their progress. After finishing a task, students need to think about what they have learned, what went well, and what they need to improve next time. Lastly, teachers can give tools like journals, trackers, and simple checklists. These tools can help students to record their goals and manage their time more better than before and can track their progress. So, with these strategies, students can learn to take charge of their own learning and become more independent.
I'm so chuffed to be here. So now I'm going to talk about practical recommendation, formative assessment. So what is formative assessment? Formative assessment is used to monitor students' learning during lessons. It also helps teachers to identify learning gaps and adjust teaching methods. It helps students to understand their progress and what they need to improve. Lastly, it helps provide immediate feedback for both teachers and students. Now I'm going to talk about creating motivational learning environment. Number 1, a motivational environment supports student confidence and encourages their participation. Secondly, students learn better when they feel safe, respected, and supported. Number 2, ways to create a motivational environment. Firstly, give positive reinforcement such as praise. Then provide clear goals and also build supportive between teachers and students relationship. Number 3, unify formative. First, use one consistent font style throughout slide. Second, use a simple color palette. And lastly, use minimal icon to look more professional. Number 4, use reference list, for example, as you can see on the slide. And lastly, overall design. For overall design, firstly needs to be clean, simple, and professional. Secondly, please avoid overcrowding slide. And lastly, ensure visual consistency with the whole group team.